first things first. Let's talk about the big story at hand. So his name is, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I think it's Achraf or Achraf Hakimi. Um, he's a football player, literally football. All right. A lot of people are crowning him the GOAT, and I can see why. But I want to break this down for y'all really quickly. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read this article before we get started. I'm gonna share this article, and this is from Arab News. Arab News. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. All right. So the article reads: Football wife loses divorce settlement bid for half of Achraf Hakimi's wealth registered in his mother's name. Now, I have a better hack for you. We call it soccer here in the United States of America, but apparently it's called football. Now, look how gorgeous this woman is, right? She's absolutely gorgeous. Let's be real. Like if you looked at any of the videos and stuff like that, she's absolutely gorgeous, right? But let's read through it. It said the wife of Paris Saint Germain's Hakimi went to French court seeking a divorce and half of his wealth following his involvement in an alleged scandal, but walked away empty-handed. To the 36-year-old Spanish wife, how old is he? Okay, already got a problem. Already have a problem. You know what my problem is? Why would a 24-year-old man, why would a 24-year-old man be in a marriage with a 36-year-old woman? Why would a 24-year-old man, because it says, prosecutors said in March that the 24-year-old Hakimi and that she's a 36-year-old Spanish woman. Question. What is this obsession with older women? Let me see their ages. '24 and 36. 24 and 36, literally. 24 and 36, right here. '24 and 36. Why would a 24-year-old man be in a relationship with a 36-year-old woman and marry her? Just curious. Just curious, trying to understand it. Why would a 24-year-old man marry a 36-year-old woman? Here's my other question. Why would a 24-year-old man that is as successful as him get married in the first place? Some people saying that he got married when he was 21. Okay, so if he was 21, then that means that she was 33. Wait a minute. He's 24, 21, 36, 33. Yeah, she would be 33 years old. Why would a 21-year-old man marry a 33-year-old woman? Which means that they had to develop a relationship or something prior to that. It's wild. Absolutely wild. But let's continue. And I'm surprised that he was as wild as it was for him to get married to her that young. I'm surprised that he was smart enough to actually have this in his mother's name. But let's continue. So it says that To the 36-year-old Spanish wife's surprise, the Moroccan defender had no properties or money in the bank, or so she was told by the court, as Hakimi had registered his fortune in his mother's name. According to reports, the wife lodged a divorce claim and demanded half of the World Cup star's fortune before she discovered the bitter truth that Hakimi's mother had it all. So here's my question then, because I'm so confused, right? And I'm gonna translate this over into American society's perspective, right? Here's my question: how do you marry somebody, but you don't even know what the finances and the money is about? That's wild. This is crazy. French prosecutors said in March that the 24-year-old Hakimi had been indicted on charges after being questioned by investigators. Following the news that Hakimi had been placed under judicial supervision, Abouk, who at the time was holidaying in Dubai with their two children, they got two kids together? Wow, this is crazy. Was reported to have decided to part from her husband. They've been married. They had been married in February 2020. Media reported that court officials had told Abouk that her husband allegedly owned nothing, that all of his millions, even his PSG salary, were registered under his mother's name. Can you do that in other countries? Now, I'm going to tell you from a business perspective how you can do it here in the United States of America, because I didn't even know you can register your salary in your mother's name. How do you register your salary in your mother's name? That's wild to me. His wife was astonished when she was, oh, hold on. Sixth highest paid African footballer, earning more than $215,000 a week, which is the equivalent of about $860,000 a month. This dude earning over $10 million a year. His wife was astonished when she was told by the court that more than 80% of his salary is credited to his mother's bank account. He appears to have no property, cars, or jewelry registered in his name. Media reports have estimated that Hakimi's wealth is to exceed 70 million. Yeah, he is the GOAT. I got to give it to him. I avoided looking at the details of this story, and I know that you guys have been sending me this past week, but I got to give it to him. He is absolutely the GOAT. It is no way in the world that he is not the GOAT as a result of this, especially somebody being as young as he is, not having to fork over a bunch of his money. It is registered in the name of his mother, who purchases everything he wants. His lawyer, Fanny Collins, said that her client being indicted was an obligatory step for any person being accused, and would allow the footballer to defend himself. All right, so we got a couple different things that we want to tackle here. All right, couple different things that we want to tackle here. Woo! All right, so first and foremost, and thank y'all for the super chats. I'm definitely gonna be reading them throughout the show. I'm gonna read them throughout the show. Check it out. So first and foremost, the first thing that we got to take into consideration is that he is the GOAT. Secondly, and we gonna lay all of the factors out here in order to be able to have this conversation. All right. Secondly, let me close out all of these windows. Give me a second. Give me a second. Because I want to make sure that I got your. When you streaming in these hotels, the connections aren't as great as you'd want them to be. Close that out. Close that out. All right, so I think we good. All right, the second thing is, why would a man that young talk to a woman that old? And then last but not least, how was he smart enough to get away with this? Now, the other way that you can do this is this, fellas, because there's multiple different ways for you to be able to protect yourself. All right. The first way that you can protect yourself is, and this is going for. Let me preface this by saying that I'm speaking specifically to men that have acquired and built a lot of wealth up that needs to protect themselves, especially when they decided to go into a relationship or a marriage with a woman, and you don't know what's going to happen, right? People can turn on you, they can flip on you. This is why I'm a large advocate for getting married early. I'm a large advocate for getting married early when you don't have anything. And that way, when you build together, then I can more reasonably see you actually contributing into that pot, especially when she's giving up her life in order to take care of your kids or whatever. So I'm not a chauvinist. I don't believe that um, people or a woman should just 100% be left out in the cold. All right. I think that if she built with you, if she was there the whole time holding you down, if she contributed into the business, uh, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife is a good example of it in that she was one of the employees and largely, I believe, was the accountant. And she was actually in the gym helping build the company from scratch, which then justified, possibly justified, and I'm not sure how much you could value how much her contribution is, but it justified the fact that she was going to be broken off and taken care of because we don't know how successful. I'm sure he still would have been successful, but she was there when he didn't have anything, right? But it's a large majority of guys that reach out to me and they say, Anton, yeah, I'm looking to have a wife, I'm looking to get married, but I wanted to get myself together first, and you know, I don't want my wife to have to work. And I say, what do you mean you don't want your wife to have to work? What does that mean? What does it mean when you say you don't want your wife to have to work? Well, you know, I just want her to be able to chill. I said, what, she gonna have little kids or something? I mean, maybe down a lot. So you telling me that your chick just gonna be sitting at the crib, not doing nothing? Shout out to you, Mr. Rogers. I'm gonna be reading super chat shortly. You mean your chick gonna be sitting at the crib, not doing nothing, and you don't want her to have to work just because you're gonna save her? Because all women are happy. All women should work in one capacity or another. All women should be contributing into the household one way or another. Whether you taking care of the kids, whether you making sure that the household is laid down, and it's levels, right? Everybody is not a millionaire. Everybody is not 100,000aire. Sometimes you're getting it out the mud. Sometimes you're getting it from scratch. But every woman should work. No woman should just be milling around just for the sake of conversation, whether she worked for you, whether she's out doing volunteer work, whether she's pouring into the community. She has to be, your wife is a reflection of who you are. Okay? So just because she a woman and she can have sex don't mean that she not supposed to be doing something productive, aka work.